I hit the start streaming button. Let's see if we got a live stream going here. Casey claims he's not playing tonight.
Yeah, he's at his wife is running a 7K or something, and he has the children's.
The children's?
The children's.
Got the children's. I'm YouTubing. YouTube.com/RcadeRadio.
The very first thing people are hearing is me talking about the children's.
It's excellent. Okay. I need to switch to night mode. Hey, we're on.
Right on.
Right on, right on.
They keep staying the same age. What? Sorry.
Sweet. A sweet Sonia. I see you guys. You're live on the YouTubes right now.
Nice.
Thank you.
What?
You make this post. There we go. You hit publish. Done. All right. Technical banter.
Nice.
Is this where we talk about how we're streaming? And
yeah, I cut all this out. Actually, when I edit the show and put it up on SoundCloud, I invent sentences or conversations that we didn't have by rearranging everything.
I did that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you notice on the early ones, I edited all of them until I got tired of doing it.
The beginning and the ending. That's really rife for some editing love.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to those. They're probably awesome.
Yeah, I'm behind on 2. I thank you for sending me those. By the way, I started to get to work on it. Then I did.
Oh crap! You guys are not on anymore. What happened?
What?
There we go. I just a little technical difficulty there.
I'm just trying to make sure Missile Command is in a nice area here that you can.
It's nice.
Yeah. Adam likes it when I move my microphone like 1 minute before the show starts.
It looks like a mini cabinet. That's all. It's so far away.
Well, I mean, they are fairly short, but
are they?
Since I'm elevated, it does look.
Yeah.
Like, this is a turkey shoot.
Andy Baldwin.
My fiance would love that desk, by the way. A desk with a treadmill attached to it.
Sweet.
She's watching right now, by the way, too.
Hello.
So, yeah.
Hey, Sam. Andy Baldwin is in the chat. He's your source for Nintendo parts if you need to talk to him.
Andy, have I met him before?
Yeah, he's Andrewb on Clav.
Oh, okay.
A-N-D.
Yeah, I've seen him on there.
R-E-W-B, and he's a great resource. He
cool.
He hooked me up with a really awesome restored Nintendo joystick for my DK Junior, which is awesome.
Nice.
The control panel is so sweet. Dave from Buffalo, welcome to the show.
Dave from Buffalo, I love that guy.
Dave just revealed his barn find like a year after it happened.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
because people were catching on to him.
Well, I mean, he showed us like video of it before. I think it was just time to reveal finally.
Yeah, I love that guy. I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah, I'll miss him too. So.
He's like, where am I going?
It's too bad about what happens to Dave.
It's like, what the hell is happening right now? So we had a little pre-show banter. We might as well just reveal Sam has opted not to go to Grinkers this year for Grinkfest 6.
Yeah, I'm going to San Diego.
Uh-huh. So we're slowly trying to talk him into showing up with his wife. Right?
I don't know. She wants to go to Boise. She says she wants to go.
Oh my God!
To fly though.
It's fantastic.
We normally drive out from Colorado,
it's fantastic. It's flippin' fantastic. That's what it is. Yeah, I don't know why.
We'll see.
I don't know why I'm not.
That's how we live. Last minute. So flying by the seat of our pants.
Well, your hair proves that.
Yep, absolutely. Every morning.
You're the only person with better hair than me. Oh,
it's all I have. I don't have much in this life. I just got nice hair and a few other things. So
sweet, man. Well, what do you say we play a little, have a little fun, and then get this show on the road?
All right.
All right, let's see.
If you insist.
All right, okay. Yeah, all right.
You enjoyed yourself at the party?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I'm a little bit disappointed in you.
Yeah?
Well, we talked quite a bit at the party, and I watched you, and I believe in being direct. How about you? Skip, just tell me exactly what you're thinking. Say, Beth,
Okay. Beth, it's no accident that I'm the one delivering the groceries.
Nice, Skip.
Well, that's a start.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is the best scene in a movie.
Can I get you something to drink?
Sure. I mean, no. I still got a few more deliveries to make.
What an idiot.
Really got to get back to work.
What an idiot.
That was quick. Got a little tip for you, Skip.
God, kid.
Plastics. Skip, the time to do something is when the time is.
From KOYR Studios in Minneapolis, Minnesota, this is Arcade Radio. Intruder alert, intruder alert.
Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 22 of the Arcade Radio Podcast. Today is Thursday, July 12th, 2018, and the time is now approximately 7:25 p.m. Central. Thanks for joining us in the Arcadosphere. This is your host, Adam Elda. Tonight, I am joined by Mark Time Runner Shields and the guest host of Arcade Radio this week, Sam Bahman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So Sam's going to be on the show with us. We'll just jump right into the first segment. Mark, what have you been working on? Mark? Oh, my gosh. Well, Sam.
Oh, well, hey, I'm sorry. I'm talking while the mute button's on. It's like I'm at a conference call at work. That's embarrassing. Man, I've been like chiming in and stuff. Man, what happened? Okay, right. So hey, I picked up a Joust conversion game recently.
Wait a minute. So it was a Joust that was converted, or
Yeah,
somebody
it's
converted
got
it to Joust?
It's got a Street Fighter Rainbow Edition inside of it. Have you ever played that one?
No.
Like, there's everybody can like shoot and do the same kind of like fancy moves. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And when I opened it up, there was $25 worth of quarters inside.
Nice.
I like that.
How much did you pay for it?
$250.
So $225.
$220. Well, about $222 actually. I mean, there's a little bit more than $25.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's in the garage, and I have that other game in there with the Ladybug. That's my project. And then I decided all other projects I have, I'm going to work on them and I'm going to finish them, because I have like 3 or 4 games inside of the house that are like halfway done. And so I worked on the Missile Command, which is behind me right now, and I finished that. And then I worked on the Street Fighter cabinet that my wife bought for $50 at a garage sale.
Nice.
And I think we're pretty much finished. I have to cut some plexi. and then I'm gonna get to work on the Joust, which I think I'm just gonna multi. And is it true J-Rock is out of boards again? Come on, J-Rock, make some boards for us.
Funny. Probably. So is that a TakeMan control panel CPU?
Which one?
On the Missile Command?
No, it is a. It's funny that you should say that though, because right here in my hands is my. Let's see, which way do I turn it?
There you go.
Is my TakeMan quantum control panel.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Is that silk screened?
I mean, it smells like it. I'm not 100% sure.
Probably is. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It's very nice.
So, I mean, I don't have a cabinet to put it on, but
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
I
is
mean,
right.
I
That's
have
how
like
I
all
do
these
it.
components. At least I could put the control panel art on the control panel.
Yeah,
so now I
right.
have one object instead of two objects.
That's awesome. Oh my god. So, oh my gosh, there's a Time Runner and a Mark Shields in here. That's
I
weird.
logged out. I
Okay.
switched.
So, Missile Command was one of my full restores that I did. So I have the TakeMan silkscreen. Your control panel looks like it's in pretty good shape. I just posted this last week on Arcade Radio about the trackball, Atari trackball. Did you read that article?
No, but I did personally take mine apart, and it is a pain in the butt.
It is. Did you have to rebuild it?
I mean, by saying rebuild, do you mean that I take it completely apart and then have to figure out how all the parts went back together? Yes.
But did you replace the rollers and the bearings and all that
Oh,
stuff?
yes.
Okay.
Rollers and bearings all replaced. Ball obviously was in good shape, so I kept that. The plexi that goes on top, I super glued it back together.
So there's a new plexi you can get, by the way.
What?
Yep, it's a repro.
Where?
I got them on
Send me-
eBay, like, I don't know, a couple years ago. So check it out. I think you should be able to find them.
Okay, I'll try. Although my plexi, the one that's in there is whole. It is made whole again.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, no, it's
any
cool.
part
It's
that's
cool.
missing is like sort of off from the circle.
Well, the other thing,
Woo-hoo!
woo woo. So the other thing you can do is look on Clove, and I think the guy posted on there as well. So anyway, what I wanted to make the point is that Tony Temple, who was on our show, I don't know, earlier this year.
Art of Atari guy.
Art of Atari. No, that's Tim Lapatino.
Oh, that's cool, though.
But Tim Lapatino was also on the show. Tony Temple is the arcade blogger.
Oh,
He did.
right. Sorry.
He did
Tony.
it. Yeah, he did an arc, and he's from England. We did a Sunday show for that. Remember that? So anyway, he did this article on the trackball. It's this funny face he's making, and it's really cool because he talks about how the Atari trackball is the exact size of a candlepin bowling ball. And right now, I'm after some really cool candlepin. This guy on eBay has been refurbing them, and I would go halvesies with you, Mark. He sells them in sets of 4 and 2 and 3, depending. I think
What color are they?
Tell
me more.
They're like swirl and stuff. So I want to get like a blue swirl one for my Missile Command, and then I want to get for my football machine. I want to get 2 orange ones because I have orange T-molding on my football machine, and I think it would look really tight with the orange graphics and everything. So I'm after those. But if you would like to split them, it's like $90 for a set. I would. It's very
Yeah,
easy.
I could do that. I got some PayPal monies.
Cool. We should do that. So, anyhow, that's totally tangential. Did I interrupt you, or are you done with what you've been
I'm
working
done.
on? Okay.
And now I am complete.
Should we give Sam the next shot at this one?
Sure. What have you been working on, Sam?
Well, it's more like what did I just finish working on? I'm kind of taking a break right now, but I just finished those Oregon Trail cabinets.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, I just delivered those about 2.5 weeks ago. So
Do they look like the handhelds? Who got the idea for this?
that was actually High Score Arcades in Alameda, the Bay Area. They have 2 locations, so I had to do 2 cabinets for them.
Wow, are they Nintendo style?
It was weird. I actually, when I designed it, I blended 3 different style cabinets together. Nintendo was one of them, Atari, and then actually a Robotron Cabaret as well. So I kind of put the 3 together to make it that design. So, but yeah, I just finished those, but I got to start finishing up some of these custom Nintendo cabinets because I got a big show down in Phoenix next month. So I'm going to show them for the first time to the public. So I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, just doing the custom thing.
Just doing the custom thing. We're going to talk about that in a little bit because, that's a kind of an understatement. Yeah, I'm looking for. Do you have any pictures of the Oregon Trail arcade cabinets up right now?
That you can Google it. You can Google the Oregon Trail. Their San Francisco Chronicle actually just ran a couple articles. One of them was yesterday, but they ran one about 2 weeks ago about it and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Got some press from it. Got some attention from them. That was a really cool project.
Oh, okay,
really
here we go. I got it.
it.
Oh, this is good. This is
well.
real.
I actually took the cabinets to Chimney Rock in Nebraska, which was one of the inspirations for the project, and I put it in the middle of the field, which I think was private, and took pictures of it with Chimney Rock in the background, the actual Chimney Rock. So I had to do it, even though I was exhausted from the project. I knew I'd regret it before I delivered it. So, but those pictures should be online, I think, or at least one of them.
Yeah, I'm about to share it with the audience here.
Or if you look on Clov, I posted it in the restoration section. There's a bunch of pictures of it.
I'm just putting one picture up right now.
Okay.
I just popped it up. It's you guys can't see it unless you're connected to the chat, and then it comes up a little late here. But yeah, this is actually kind of cool having you on the show for this particular thing because there's a connection to Minnesota.
Really?
Yeah.
It's startling. I did not know this either.
Yeah, so Oregon Trail was invented by 3 guys.
Yes.
Yep, from Minnesota.
And I put that in the. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I put that in the. I put that on the marquee. The Minnesota Educational something Corporation.
Yeah. Yep.
So I actually put that on the marquee because I wanted to make it look like. I know they wouldn't have made it look like this, but if they did, they should have. That's their game.
Yep.
Like,
Minnesota.
what if they made it, and what if they had like an unlimited budget and they wanted to theme this thing out? What would it look like? And that's what we came up with. So yeah, that's cool. I totally spaced that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's freaking fantastic. Right now, the listeners are getting a look at it. So tell us what you think. I think it's probably one of your best cabinets. I love what you did with it. It is a cross of a little bit of, but that fan and the wagon wheel for the vent that's inspirational. I love it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I submitted to them a couple different drawings for designs, high score arcades, and I did one where I just like painted it, did a custom paint job on it, airbrush like it look like a wagon and stuff, and then I gave them that kind of rough wood cut, like it was on the back of a wagon design as well, and that's the one that they went with. So even if you look at the profile of it, like I tried to make it kind of mimic a wagon, like with the seat and the point right there, like that's the actual canvas top and stuff like that. So I tried to sneak little details in there like that, all throughout the build. My favorite part, and actually most people's favorite part, is that bubblegum crank for the coin mech. Trying to make it look old school.
Huh.
Yeah, no, that is quite the inspired cabinet. So
it was a lot of fun. I built 2 of them, so over 7 weekends. So I probably would spend about 14 days total on it.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing.
Like in 50 years, somebody's going to find these and go, what the heck was happening?
Yeah, and then all that artwork I commissioned my friend, Brandon Hovitt, and that's all hand-drawn. Like, none of that's vectored. Like, he's a comic book illustrator, so I told him what I wanted. I wanted to make it look like it was a newspaper ad, like they were trying to get you out. So I wanted it to be a history lesson. I wanted the user to be able to have that kind of like history, like why people were going out there in the first place and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's what that whole game was about, right? It was supposed to, it was the only reason they let us play it in school.
Yep.
Because it was educational, so.
So the interesting, and I'll share a little bit of this because I have a personal connection to one of the developers for the 2E version. I worked at the Nerdery here in town for a little while.
Lucky.
And one of the resourcing guys that works there is a guy by the name of John Krenz, Krenz. He was the lead programmer for the Apple IIe version of the game.
And I recognize that name when you said that. I think it's in Wikipedia.
Yeah. And he, so he's a really interesting guy. I talked to him a little bit about it. We kind of nerded out because I'm older and a lot of the guys at the Nerdery are a little younger. It was fun to kind of bond with him over this. But
did he see it?
I don't know. I haven't been at the Nerdery in like almost 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So, but when I was there, we had a great conversation. And you did mention the Minnesota Educational Computing Corporation. That's MECC or MEC. And MEC used to produce all kinds of different learning games. And Oregon Trail was one of them. So, but these guys, I think it was, you can look it up on Wikipedia, but it was like Rich Bergeron and Tom Zemlin. I can't remember, but there was a few guys that invented Oregon Trail on like one of those. What was the old computer that didn't have a monitor? It had a paper. It spit out paper. Remember that thing? What was it called?
I mean, a VAX could technically do that.
It's not a VAX, but it was like it wasn't like an ENIAC or something. I can't remember what it was, but maybe somebody in the chat remembers. But
Whopper?
It was the Whopper, yeah. But basically the responses the game would spit out what was happening. You have made it to this point. Do you want to hunt? And then you could type yes or no, and it would just move the paper up. And so there was no animations. There was nothing like that. It was all paper-based. But they had come up with this whole concept and laid it out in their apartment, and then they, put it on the computer and they tested it, and people just loved it. So eventually, and I'm just totally paraphrasing and condensing the story right now, but eventually they moved it to the computer, and you got the Oregon Trail. The first version. And there were several versions. You can find like, I don't know how many iterations of it. My mom and my aunt was a teacher down in the Rochester, Austin area in a place called Byron, Minnesota. And she got copies of all the software and would give it to us. And my mom and her edited the Oregon Trail responses in the game so that you could die from different things other than like dysentery.
Really?
Yeah, so it was really funny because you
died from diarrhea.
Exactly. Right. You died from, small. There were all kinds of things you could die from, but it was really interesting. How computing was back then. Anyway. Really fun Minnesota connection and a super huge tangent.
No, that's awesome, man. That's really cool.
So I'm going to just run through some of the quick things I've been working on, which are not really like, I don't know if they really count, but good news. Good news. This old game sent me a tracking number for my Journey art package.
Nice.
Yesterday. So should be expecting that soon. And I'm going to take that. I've already been in contact with the auto body shop up the street. I'm going to take my Journey cabinet up there, and they are going to paint it.
Nice.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's going to be...
you have to record this process.
It's going to be color-coded off the original color, and then I'm going to have them add iridescence to it, and it's going to look pretty schwanky.
Nice. Good for you, man. Yeah. That's cool.
I mean, if you're going to go custom and it's going to be a machine that's going to be in your collection, why the hell not, right?
So are they going to do like a pearl? Like a blue pearl?
Yeah. So it's going to be really, really cool. I knew you would appreciate that.
Yeah.
So the other thing is a really good friend of mine who's battling cancer right now and his wife bought me a really cool gift for my arcade, and it is the Golden Valley. I live in Golden Valley, Minnesota. The Golden Valley Historical Society collected all of the street signs when they were retired a few years ago, and they were renewed. So it's like 5 years ago or something. And they sold off all the signs to local residents as a fundraiser. And they bought me the street that I live on. They bought me the street sign for my block. So it has,
that's awesome.
It has the 7100 block of my street, and I just redid the wall next to my bar, spackled it up, painted it, ready to go. So I'm gonna hang that on the wall, and I have a giant stop sign as well that I had collected earlier. And then earlier this week, I found a no through traffic sign at the thrift store. So I have this legitimate no, like all three signs are from the road, probably illegal to own. I don't know, but someone stole them and then sold them to me, so I have them now. So those are going on the wall, and that's going to be the street sign wall right next to the bar. So that's kind of the other thing I've been working on. So that's kind of everything I think that I'm working on in that department. So, did you guys hear a train? I might have heard a train.
That's me. You're gonna probably hear it every once in a while. Sorry, everybody.
It's okay.
Right next to train tracks.
That's all right.
Speaking of trains, it's the time where we go and see if Dan Reed will join the show.
Oh, you want to do that next? Okay, here we go.
Did we tell? Did we explain?
No, we did not explain this, but Sam, this has become a running gag.
Okay, Dan Reed photo.
So Dan
Yes.
exactly. Dan used to be a co-host on the show, and
didn't I meet him at Grinkers?
Yeah, and he's too busy to do the show now, so we just harass him all the time. So we're calling him right now.
Nice. You should tell him the Zelda guy's on here.
Yep. we actually did a news article on your Zelda game.
I know. I met him. Yeah.
Back when he did the news
last week.
He did. He might not this week. I did.
Your call has been.
I did send him an invite.
I saw that. That's very, very polite. We're gonna call him one more time, just for a good measure.
This is how we got him last time too.
Your call has been.
Oh, he put you right to voicemail. He's like, no, I'm not picking up.
Yeah. I'm offended.
We're
gonna call him one more time.
All right. Oh my God, I can't believe this. He's just gonna be like, I'm gonna block your number.
That thing is horrid.
Your call has.
Okay, we get it, Dan. And that's the end of the Dan Reed Minute.
That thing is horrid. It's horrid. I can't imagine people are using it, but whatever.
Why did he stop?
Long
story.
I don't
Just
know,
too
he's
busy.
He's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on.
Oh.
You know, it's okay. Mark and I put a lot of time into the show, and Dan just doesn't have time. So we appreciate his contributions. He's a fun guest or host when he's on, but we also had a really awesome segment that it was like, okay, here's
It's the negative news with Dan Reed.
because he always hated everything we reported on.
I know. I remember that.
I gave him this segment. He's like, I don't know about this. It's just like it's like he report on something. So speaking of the news, let's jump right into that. Okay, here we go.
It's the Arcade News with Adam Stevens.
Oh, that's right. There's some news this week. We generally have news. Police.
It's not old, but
right. Fox 43 out of Pennsylvania reports that police have identified 2 of 3 suspects in a string of arcade game thefts across central Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland. In Lebanon County, Pennsylvania, police have identified, I might have already mentioned this, 2 of 3 suspects in a streak of arcade game thefts spanning 3 states. Alicia Botwin, 42, and Michael Satelli, 48. Of Newport.
Hey, what are you doing?
Man, what you nice. Just make it totally okay. That's good. Of Newport Richey, Florida, are wanted on theft and conspiracy to commit theft. The duo, it's like Bonnie and Clyde, huh?
Bonnie and Clyde.
Along with a third suspect, I guess Bonnie and Clyde in Gleek, who police are working on to identify, allegedly participated in arcade game theft at Haas's restaurant. Is this real?
What's going on, huh?
At Haas's restaurant on June 26 in Lebanon County. However, an investigation has revealed that the trio may be responsible for breaking into similar arcade machines in Dauphin County and Lancaster County as well. Police, seriously, there's arcade thefts and it's being reported?
Yeah.
That's totally weird.
So are they taking paper boys and 720s? Or
No,
do they
they're like breaking in the machine and taking the money. It's like...
So they just...
so you get like what? Wouldn't it be a bummer if they went into the arcade and stole a bunch of tokens? Like, oops, I got some tokens. Now I don't know what I'm gonna do.
When I was loading up the joust that I bought, I could hear a bunch of coins jingling around inside, and I told the guy, "Oh man, those Showbiz pizza tokens must be just really jingling in there." And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure." Go ahead, back to you.
No, I think that's hilarious. So, via Engadget, Atari 2600 fans get the revival console they deserve. If you want to play retro Atari 2600 VCS games, you're not short on options. By the way, that VCS whole thing, I'm not buying one of those. It's like $300 and nobody knows what's happening. They just hired some Xbox programmer guy that is going to help them. I'm actually, you know what? I'm really gun shy on Indiegogo and any crowdfunding things now because I've actually funded 2 things. One turned into total vaporware. They took my money. Another one I funded is the Love Turntable, which I still have not seen a return on. It's like a $300 device. And and there's one other one I did that they just shut down and gave everybody their money back. So I have no confidence in crowdfunding at all, and I think it's a waste of money, and I don't think people should do it. So anyway, off my soapbox. If you want
the negative news with Adam Stevens.
Exactly right. Exactly. If you want to play retro Atari 2600 VCS games, you're not unsure. There's an eBay for the original console. You could buy as many as you want, right? Or you can get the flashback. But for those who have the original cartridges but don't want to keep an old console on permanent life support or tinker with, keeping it working, enter the Retron 77, the VCS reimagined for the modern age. This thing comes with a controller with 2 buttons, so you can be ambidextrous. You can play with your left or your right hand and have which is kind of cool. And then it has a couple of angled corners on it, so you don't hurt your hand anymore when you're playing with the controller. So that's pretty cool too, and it outputs inglorious 1080p in HD right out of the box. And the thing is about a half the size of the original VCS. Check it out on Engadget or just Google Retron, Retron 77, and check it out. It's made by Hyperkin. I ordered mine last night, so we'll see what it looks like when it comes. I did hear there was a problem with when the controller is breaking, but they still function. But there's like something breaks off in the controller, and so they're working on fixing that. So if that happens to you, Hyperkin will replace it under warranty. I think there's a limited warranty on it, so 90 days or something. Anyway, check it out. So on to the next news article, Oregon Trail as art. So this is via the San Francisco Chronicle, which you mentioned earlier. And the Oregon Trail was both a game and a rite of passage for millions of students from the 70s to the 2000s. Many a middle schooler suffered a virtual death of dysentery in a computer lab trying to negotiate their 1800s wagon party across the U.S. So, the game is now returned with 2 playable home builds of the classic game at High Scores Arcades in Alameda and Hayward by our very own Sam, who is on the show tonight. So that's pretty cool. Oregon Trail may be the ultimate video game, and you know what? It's interesting. You can mention video games to anybody, and there's consistency in what people respond with, right? Donkey Kong, a Pac-Man, right? But if you say Oregon Trail or you have died of dysentery, everybody knows what you're talking about. Everybody. Yeah. So it's fantastic. So the game was developed in 1971 by Mech. We mentioned that earlier in the show. It flourished in the 80s and 90s. Apple computers sold to schools in bulk often came bundled with the game. So all the Apple computers that you might have played in your school when you were a kid had this on there. Of course, we all know that. And the chatters are lighting up with their comments on Oregon Trail, of course. So Sonic Brat, I don't know who that is. That's a new guy or a new gal. Sonic Brat. That cabin, Sonic Brat or Brat? Is it Brat? Maybe it's a brat.
I don't know, but she wants to see somebody's face, but I don't know who is she talking to. Either me or you.
Oh, I have my face totally covered up.
Right.
So I can't do that. I have to talk into the mic. So,
okay.
Sonic Brat.
She wants to see your mouth. That's kind of weird. I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out.
Here you go. This is my one shot.
Oh, right. It says Adam's Arcade on your glass. That's
I'm
nice.
drinking. So, Sonic Brat says that the cabinet for Oregon Trail is incredible, amazing work for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. And thanks for being on the show. And where is Greaseball?
Greaseball?
Is Greaseball in here? Oh,
I'll
see,
see. He's probably going to come back later.
and we're missing a few regulars, but you know. Anyway, so that's the arcade news. I think we should move on. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I'm in.
All right, here we go.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin quarter mile.
Back to the cave with Time Runner.
Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Hey, jump in the DeLorean. We're going to set our time circuits to July 12th, 1976.
Nothing, I was just
a
laughing.
mere, how many years is that? 42 years ago? That's it? Why did I pick that date?
I don't know, but you know what?
I don't know.
Sam was born in 77, so you were close.
77.
Nice. Yeah, so let's talk about what was going on 42 years ago on today's date.
42. That's the answer to the universe. That's why you picked it.
Oh, maybe. Exidy released Death Race in April 1976, a racing game based on the film Death Race 2000 to video arcades. News of the game's existence did not break nationally, though, until newspapers sort of picked up on it the first week of July 42 years ago after a pretty much quiet rollout. The game sparked a public outcry, of course, over violence in video games because, you know, those zombies deserve to live. And as a result, it was banned in many areas. Nice. Okay, Adam, there's some red Qs that are underlined in my notes. Do you see those red Qs?
Yeah, yes, I do.
So we have to click on those and then play that audio. Adam is in charge of the audio goodness of this show.
Well, you know.
So, and by the way, some of them have like timestamps, so you have to like get it to be like right there. Anyway, okay, let me jump in here.
Wait a second.
I can see Adam's little highlight, like he's desperately trying to click on the link right now.
I'm sorry. Oh, I know this clip.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Good. Okay. We're going to talk about what happened at the box office on July 12th, 1976.
All right. I'm putting it on the screen.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Logan's Run, a 1976 American sci-fi film starring Michael York, Jenny Agutter So Hot, Farrah Fawcett, and Peter Ustinov.
Yes, as the cat herder.
It depicted a utopian future society on the surface revealed as a dystopia where the population and the consumption of resources are maintained in equilibrium by killing everyone who reaches the age of 30. You know, in the book, they had to reach the age of 21 they got killed, but I figure they were like, there's no way we're hiring 20-year-olds to do this movie. Forget it. Story follows the actions of Logan 5, a Sandman, which is what they call their cops that kill people that try to run away, who has terminated others and have attempted to escape death. And he's now faced with termination himself. Have you seen Logan's Run? Anybody?
I have. Yeah.
Oh, man. You guys... Wait, you both haven't seen it?
No, I have. I've seen it a million times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, you've got a good movie. You need to watch.
Good.
They keep wanting to remake it. It's way better than like watching the old Westworld or something.
Yeah. Oh my God, that old Westworld is something else. But anyway, the interesting thing about Logan's Run is it came out like literally almost a year to the date. Well, a little less than a year to Star Wars, and it was really the last
cheeseball movie before Star Wars.
It was the last sci-fi movie of its genre, sort of a carryover from the '60s, if you will. So,
oh yeah, totally. Star Wars redefined the genre for sure.
It did, and I love Logan's Run for its pop culture references and the way they shot it, and just the whole subject matter, and it's fantastic. But it is no Star Wars. So those of you who have not seen it, you have to take it in that light. It is a different kind of sci-fi movie. It is a real sci-fi movie that you have to kind of immerse yourself in, sort of imagine.
I recommend seeing the unrated version because there are some excellent boobies scenes.
Yes.
To be clear, they realized this movie is not so good sci-fi, but let's put in some boobies.
Oh my gosh, it is. Yeah.
Apologies ahead of time to Sam's girlfriend.
The mid to late 70s. The mid to late 70s were really a highway for. They used to call it TNA TV, really.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's
you
see
had
what
you had
what-
Buck Rogers, you had Battlestar Galactica with scantily clad women, and
Right.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Speaking of TV, let's talk about what was on TV this night, July 12th, 1976. I looked. It's the summer, right? So it's really a slow summer. They just have repeats. The most interesting thing that was on television tonight was the Rich Little show.
What?
It was a yes. By the way, Rich Little is still alive. He's an incredible impressionist, and he used to be. I mean, that was his shtick basically.
Right.
He would do impressions of famous people, and I have a link of him doing a recent impression. Rich, by the way, is 79 years old, and he's like a Vegas regular. He does like a comedy show there where he goes over his career and does these great impressions. But he was really big in the 70s. He was like on every variety show that existed.
Been in a bunch of movies too.
Yeah, I mean, and he's hung out with. One time he hung out with Ronald Reagan, and he showed up late to some, luncheon, and Reagan's like, this is like during the Grenada, bombing in the 80s.
Yeah.
And Reagan's like, Rich, you take over for me. And then the reporters were asking Rich Little questions.
That's hilarious. Should I play the clip?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Rich Little.
Oh, I had a link to jump ahead.
Sorry.
It's okay. It gets good at 29 seconds.
He still looks pretty good. This was a few years ago, though.
Oh, he was still in the 70s.
Regis, who is Dean Martin? I've been doing impressions for a long, long, long time. And I think the key to staying on top is to keep your act fresh, to come up with new people all the time. People like Dr. Phil.
I know that you know that I know that you know. And if you knew that I knew that, then we both would know if we knew.
See, that's good, right?
It's really good. It's really good.
I mean, and he's still doing that today.
I've done a lot of politicians over the years.
Let's give him one more chance
I've done
here.
people like Bill Clinton, who wrote me a lot of great material.
Yeah.
And George W. Bush. I don't know why the American people are picking on me. I haven't done anything.
All right.
Was that during the presidency?
But my favorite politician by far was always Ronald Reagan.
Oh yeah, it's because he might as well hear this, right?
He's just doing like a physical
Who the hell
impression.
are you?
Who the hell are you?
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Lovely. And then that brings us to our next portion and the second to the last thing before the real interview begins. Hey, Adam, what's in the juke?
Hello and welcome to What's in the Juke.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay. Wow.
Jeepers creepers. We have tonight a special theme.
Tell me about it. Or should I talk about it?
Tonight.
My segment. I'll do it.
Well, I was going to do it in a smooth voice.
Go ahead. Your voice is way smooth.
Tonight we have a theme. It's yacht rock. That's right. Tonight it's yacht rock night. What's that? It's the musical sense. Yacht rock refers to a highly polished brand of soft rock that emanated from the Southern California region between 1976 and 1984. The term is meant to suggest the kind of smooth, mellow music that early yuppies like to enjoy while sipping champagne and snorting cocaine on their yachts. That's right. We're going there. Let's begin.
Okay. Oh my God. Everybody's ready to guess these songs, so we've got...
My fingers are ready. That's right. Get your browsers ready. We got Tico Traveler. We got Mike Martin. We got David from Buffalo. We have Sonic Brat. We have Bronco Billy. There's a bunch of people in the chat tonight. Thanks for tuning in. This is What's in the Juke. We'll play a few seconds of the song, and you guys see if you can figure out what it is. So, moving right into the first song. Oh, that's not it. That was an ad. You know the problem with when you don't own all the songs and you got to find them elsewhere, you just end up getting like.
What, you didn't have every yacht rock song made?
No, we should have consulted. Here we go. This is.
Hello, yeah, it's been a while.
Well, did I just give it? Did I give it away? Is that
I'm like, I do not know what. I didn't even know yacht rock existed until yesterday.
Austin Kane, thanks for joining in, checking in. All right, man. See if you guys in Lower Town, St. Paul. Man, they got a nice little loft apartment there. I love that place. Okay, here we go. So here we go. I'm gonna play another clip.
Not much. How about you?
Well, this song sucks.
I'm not sure why I called. I guess I really just wanted to talk to you. And I was thinking maybe later on.
I mean, cocaine and arcade games, they go together pretty good, right?
I mean, as long as the control panel is level somewhat. Yeah,
Hey,
this one I don't think anybody's gonna get. I didn't even know this one, so.
No, this is like this song blows. Wait, here comes the chorus.
We could get together for a while. It's been such a long time. To miss your smile.
Sounds like Believe It or Not. Believe it or not.
This is a good song. Listen.
Wanna change your life, but there's a warm wind blowing and the stars around, and I'd really love to see it tonight.
Let's see if anybody can get it after that. It's like the most I've ever played of a clip. It's like the most ever.
I agree. Dave from Buffalo says it sounds like something from a movie with Robbie Benson.
This is kind of, I bet you Casey would have got it. All right, we're gonna have to give it up. It's called "I'd Really Love to See You Tonight" by England Dan and John Ford Coley. They also made some other music for television.
I thought they were like one-hit wonders.
Let me just say England Dan, and they did the theme for James at 15.
Oh my God! Shoot me in the head now.
Okay. All right.
We've got 9 more of these, folks. That interview is right around the corner.
Okay, so here comes the next one. You guys may have a better chance at this one, I think. Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You put these in there. This is your fault.
They get better as you get closer to the first one, the last one. I mean.
Oh. Olivia Newton-John.
Now, it's funny because I love when the guests are on because, like, they want to guess. They want to guess, but they don't. Half the time, our guests just don't get it. I mean, they don't.
Eugene Jarvis guessed wrong like 9 times.
Yeah, it was great.
It was awesome.
So, and with Casey out tonight, there's a chance that somebody else is going to win tonight. This is a great song. I can't believe we haven't had a hit already. This is embarrassing.
Everybody in the chat's like, "What is this?"
This was not in arcade.
Wait, no.
Steal away. That's correct. RC Cola 777 just nailed it. Who the hell is that?
I don't know, but thanks for being on the show, RC Cola. And I love RC Cola.
Right on. Me too. Like, who doesn't? Is that your wife, Sam?
No way. She's good at this stuff, though. She really is.
Steal away. You get a half point, RC Cola. If you can name the artist, you get a full point. So anybody?
She says she knew.
You know me, Mark. Robbie Dupree. So we got a split brain already. We got Robbie Dupree. Andy Baldwin gets half point, and RC Cola gets Steal Away. Welcome to the show. That's what I'm talking about. So,
all right.
All right. I love it when you say that because then I want to repeat it every time you say it.
I know you do.
Sometimes you just you have no idea how many times I listen to my own voicemail. Okay. All right, the next one happens to be one of my all-time favorites, and my girl loves this song. Here it comes.
Wow, that is brave.
That's only 3 seconds? Do you think that's
nobody
enough?
knows that part? I'm gonna assure you.
Really? Oh, I love Andy Baldwin's in touch with Greaseball. He says he's out with his family, but sends his love. See, RC Cola got it. Who the hell's RC Cola? I love you. You're doing awesome. And it's not Hall & Oates. Casey, what the hell are you?
Here.
He just jumps in. Nope, it's not Hall & Oates. You just happened to get yacht rock tonight. I'm sorry about that, man. Kelsey is here. Mike Martin chimes in. Kelsey is here. We haven't called him Kelsey in a long time. Have I?
Not in like 3 weeks.
I've been pretty good about that. Oh, I jumped to next to.
So wait. Who got that?
Well, we have Baby Come Back was done by RC Cola first, so they have a full point now. And it's player. Andy Baldwin got the other half, so he's got a full point.
Okay, so they're tied. And RC Cola is Eric from Arcade Repair Tips podcast, by the way.
Eric.
It's awesome.
Eric. I like Eric. Okay, here we go. So the next one is... Oh, Casey's on it. He got a half point already.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
How did he do that?
I don't know. He might have heard me accidentally play it a little earlier. I played like 1 second of it earlier. You can't.
I'm like, I have no idea what song this is.
That's an awesome song. You haven't heard this song?
It's an 8-year window. I was like, I barely knew cars were different.
Oh my God, this is the best. Of course, like, poor Sam wasn't even born when the song was released. No. You know, it's like, okay. There have been times in my life. Yep. Come on, you guys got to get the song.
There's a Huey Lewis song called the same thing.
I've been wondering why. Still somehow I believe we always survive.
I'm gonna try this at karaoke next time. I think this is a good song.
That's easy listening.
Yeah, that's kind of what yacht rock is.
Yacht rock,
Nice.
so relaxed.
Casey, we're gonna give it to you. You're close enough, and you were the first person to do it. So This is it by Kenny Loggins.
Three-way tie. Three-way.
Or we got a three-way going.
Loggins.
All right, this is great. Here we go. I'm totally making a yacht rock mix tonight.
Oh.
Bow, bow. This is all like making love music. Oh yeah.
Come on, get out of my bedroom.
Get down.
The door's open.
Somebody get the mirror out. The swiveling bed.
Let me throw you.
That's right.
Get that organ trill out.
Yeah. That's right. We got Michael McDonald and Keep Forgetting. So Keep Forgetting was Dan Copeland was the first person to get it. So
Who?
Daniel Copeland.
Okay.
And first person to get the artist was RC Cola. No. It was Casey. Oh no, it's RC Cola.
Okay. RC Cola in the lead.
Yep. Awesome. That was nicely done. We got some competition in the juke tonight. You know. All right. What you talking about? You're laughing at me.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say. This is very embarrassing for all of us. The next song you may remember. Here we go. And play the clip. And play the clip. What is going on here?
What?
Something happened.
Oh no.
Yeah, like all I can pull up right now is ABBA. Let me clear that. Yep. So, for me, my library, songs. Did I just delete like the entire?
I still see it.
There we go. All right, let's try this again. No, it was a problem with iTunes. I got it fixed. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's hard. Just the drum beats, right?
Wow.
Let's try that again. Oh my God, Andy Baldwin hit it. Andy Baldwin got both of them just off the drum beat. I'm proud of you guys. This yacht rock thing is working out tonight. Oh my God. You can't tell me. Rosanna, Rosanna. So you guys have to admit you heard this, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Next one. That's it.
So digital, and then it definitely goes into like an analog thing.
Andy Baldwin nailed it again. Kisses on my lost Hall & Oates. Hall & Pates.
Yeah, I get it. Andy did get it.
He did get it. Oh my God. You know, you got to play a little for the audience, right? You got to. So
Daryl Hall sounds really cool.
Here's an interesting. I'm gonna give you a little music trivia after this next clip. Here we go. Yeah, this is great. I'm just gonna play this just to throw people off here.
Oh, they're getting confused about his band.
Oh, that's not going to work. Yep, Casey. Wait a second, though.
Correctly.
Actually, he got the artist wrong, so we're good. The artist. No, he got the artist correct.
You got the artist right.
Yeah, but you know it's interesting. The song is also by Kenny Loggins.
No, this is
Kenny Loggins and
the Doobie Brothers.
Kenny Loggins and Michael McDonald recorded this song. Oh,
but
yeah.
but as the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, no, this was yeah. Anyway, it's a fun one. So they've done their own version of it. So I can see why, you know.
So the Doobie Brothers would have fool believes, in case anybody's listening to this in their truck.
Right, and there's like, why don't they just say what the name of the song was? And you know what's funny? Right now on Yacht Rock on Sirius Radio, they play the next artist over and over again. Like you can't go 5 songs without hearing this.
Huh.
So here we go. Interesting pick. Oh, it's so good, man. So good. Andy Baldwin got Steely Dan, and what track is it? Not Fool Believe. Someone's way behind. Hey 19. Casey gets the other half.
All right. So let's see.
Good.
That means Andy Baldwin is in first with 3.5 points, Casey with 2.5, RC Cola, Eric with 1.5, and Daniel Copeland with 0.5. Let's make this next one worth 3 points.
Okay, here we go.
I'll
I'll play it again.
Wow.
My phone just went berserk. I don't know why.
Just wait till it goes frenzy.
Casey got Christopher Cross off that. And sailing. Casey just got 3 points. Did he just swoop in?
He did. He swooped in.
He just swooped in and took over. Bronco Billy, Michael Jackson, nice. Daniel Copeland, the Lion King. Dude, Casey never ceases to amaze me. I mean, I thought I was good, but I probably wouldn't do as good as him.
This is the third glass of wine. So.
It is the third. This is at the end of the night when you've sniffed all your cocaine and you're throwing up off the end of the boat.
Oh my God. We ran out of gas on the yacht. We're just going to have to sail
down to paradise. At least it's not for me. If the wind is right, you can sail away.
Where's my yacht?
Yeah, yacht.
Just you wait and see.
Okay, I'm just going to cut that off.
All right.
Right at the chorus. Just leave everybody hanging. If you want to hear the rest of it, just find it. It's a fantastic song. Tonight, that was Yacht Rock. And thanks for listening in to...
Hello and welcome to What's in the Juke.
Nice.
We'll have to have some sort of outro music. I think it's... we got to check the voicemail box. What do you think?
Yeah, why not? I mean, nobody's left anything.
Oh, wait. I see something in there. Okay, let's give it a shot.
Thank you for calling 612-548-GAME. This is Arcade Radio. Please leave your message after the tone. Hey, long time no call, my Arcade Radio hombres. It's your buddy, Bob Zarzadek,
Bob!
control panel expert and technician. I heard today you were going to talk about the Oregon Trail. I just want to call and say I've crossed that particular trail before. It was in a little park in Eugene, Oregon. I think they had like 2 beer stands on each end, and then you'd see before you made a full loop. It was a blast. I highly recommend it. I know it's been a while since I called. I just wanted to offer an explanation, so here it is. Plastics. Well, that's all I've got for you tonight. Looking forward to catching up on all them episodes I missed. I like to listen when I'm re-shingling my shed. It's super fun. You should try it, but, get your own shed. Mine's off limits. Zarzadek out.
Wow.
That's pretty...
That's a good one.
I haven't heard him in a long time. That was great.
Hasn't lost it.
By the way, if you're interested in calling, the number is 612-548-GAME, and feel free to leave us a message. If you do, we'll play it on the show. So, I think that brings us to the next segment, which is... Please welcome to the show one more time, Mr. Sam Bahman.
Hi. Thank you very much for having me.
Mark, why don't you kick us off? Let's ask this guy some questions.
So, Sam, as a youth...
Read it more dramatically, please.
What were the circumstances where you first became hooked on arcade games?
Oh, man, that's a good question. What's weird is I actually didn't play video games that much growing up. I spent a lot of time when I was a kid with my brother in arcades and stuff like that, but I really wasn't that much into video games. It wasn't actually until later on in life when I watched The King of Kong that I really got into the nostalgia that was kind of tied into, like a lot of people, you know what I mean, that was tied into the arcade games and stuff like that. I did spend a lot of time playing video games, though. It was a good time.
So I have 2 parts to this next question then. So King of Kong triggered nostalgia. From what perspective, like what did you see in King of Kong that said, oh my God, I kind of remember going, was it like, I remember going to the arcade with my brother and that was really fun time? Or do you remember like the lights and what was the allure?
I think the thing that got me and captured my imagination was the fact that you could actually own your own arcade game. Like, I never connected those dots before. You know, like I never really even thought about it. And then I was like, how cool would that be to have your own arcade games in your house, you know, like to play and just, you know, look at and stuff and remind you of, like, you know, the times you did spend in the arcade. And I didn't spend that much time in my 20s and 30s in the arcades, you know. As a teenager I did. But,
Sure.
So I thought that was really cool.
As a teen, do you remember certain games or?
You know what's funny is I remember getting $20 from my grandmother when I was like 12, 13. Me and my brother both got $20 when we went to the arcade in San Diego. It's called Yellow Brick Road, which doesn't exist anymore, in the UTC Mall, and we played Terminator 2. And we spent all of our Christmas money beating that game. It had just come out, and so we got the money and we did it. You know, it was one of the things that, and which is funny because we recently tried to play it together, and my brother gave up. He's like, I don't want to do this after about 2 hours in and stuff. And it was on free play.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he was just like, this is too much work. And I was like, dude, we did this when we were 12. How come we can't do it when we're 40?
That's hilarious.
You know, so
do you find that?
Yeah, that's one of the games, and also Double Dragon was another one I remember.
Oh yeah,
really popular, and we played that one a lot. Street Fighter 2, obviously, as well. You know, so
sweet. Were those considered favorites then back then?
For me, yeah. I remember playing Moon Patrol at Chuck E. Cheese and stuff, but I don't remember playing Donkey Kong. I don't remember playing Pac-Man. I remember loving Pac-Man, but I don't remember playing it. You know, so the only time we really got to play arcade games was at Chuck E. Cheese, like a lot of people, you know.
Well, interestingly enough, we've mentioned your birth year on the show, so I'm 72, you're 77, so that's 5 years, and in the arcade community, that's a whole lifetime. So
because they got popular in the early 80s, right?
Right. So in 83, there was the crash. So all of those early arcade games would have been conversions, or you probably rarely saw a Pac-Man when you were the prime age.
Okay.
So but if you were like 10 to 15 years old and you're going to the arcades, you were probably seeing the late 80s games like APB and Stun Runner and Hang On, Afterburner. All those types of games probably ring more true to you than, say, Pac-Man. You know,
the golden age of JAMA.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of those games are even pre-JAMA, but JAMA was around, right? So, I mean, that's.
But I remember having a Pac-Man T-shirt. I remember having a Pac-Man board game.
Sure.
Stuff like that. Yeah. So I mean, the because Pac-Mania or whatever, you know. So.
Yeah, that stuff was around for years, and much of it is on my walls. So, Mark, what do you guys?
I still have that Pac-Man board game.
I have one too.
Nice. I don't know how it works. I have no idea.
Mark, what you got?
Let's find out. So, do you? And this is funny because I'm like looking at your site, your Facebook page, and everything before I ask this. But as far as collecting arcade games as a hobby, like what really? I mean, was it King of Kong that kicked you into that? Like, I don't really know what's in your collection.
Okay, so I don't have actually any original Nintendo games. I've had two. I mean, not Nintendo, arcade games. I've had two. Like I said, I saw that King of Kong movie, and I ended up I drove from Denver to, actually with Cody, who's watching. I took her, like, we just started dating too. So I was like, we're going to Kansas to get this Pac-Man cocktail machine.
Sweet.
And she's like, what? We'd only been dating for a month. So who is this guy? Dragged me in the middle of nowhere. So we went out to Colby, Kansas, and we got a Pac-Man cocktail machine. And I had that for a while. Then I ended up selling it. And then I drove from Denver I decided I want to get a Donkey Kong. So I ended up driving to Milwaukee to get a red Donkey Kong, an original red 5-slot red Donkey Kong, which is what spawned all these Nintendo cabinets, because I made a stencil from it, and which has spawned all these Nintendo cabinets that I've been making. So 34K Andrew, who you know, is actually the owner of that cabinet now. So I only had 2 original games, and everything else I've built.
What is that behind you? Like that blue thing?
That's a light table. Yeah, I'm in my office at work, so I have art stuff around here and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, actually, when I saw that King of Kong, I was like, people are building. I didn't want to just buy one. I wanted to build one. And so I showed up at Andrew 34K's house. I met him. I just met him at the Rocky Mountain Pinball Showdown. And I had a backpack with a notepad, and a tape measure. So this guy walks up to him. I'm like, hey, dude, you have a Donkey Kong? Can I come over to your house and measure it? I mean, that's not weird, you know? So, yeah, so I walked into his house and I just started taking pictures and measuring stuff. And then I ended up going and getting that red Donkey Kong. So that helped me a lot to use as a reference for a lot of these builds. And then when I was done with it, I ended up selling it because I was like, well, I want to build my own red Donkey Kong, and I want to put a 25-inch monitor in it, make it like a Namco Trio cabinet and mod it out and stuff, you know? So.
Man, I love that. So, hey, do you sign your build when you're done somewhere?
I just started doing that, yeah. I did it to the original Legend of Zelda. I did it to the Oregon Trails. I've been doing it to the new cabinets on the back. Yeah, instead of doing a little plate, I just put my name and who it's for and what it is. You know, I'm numbering them too, and it's just in Sharpie, you know, just to kind of give it that little bit more artistic aspect, you know, that it's an art piece, because that's what I'm going for with these things. You know, I want them to be, they're like art pieces, you know?
I know. I'd like to have a Bahman in my garage or living room, rather. I mean, come on, let's be serious.
So we found your Zelda machine on eBay, I think.
What?
Was it eBay or was it just it was just a news article?
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah, it got around the internet.
Yeah, so it was like on, you know, like Kotaku or something, or Kotaku.
Kotaku, yeah.
So,
yes.
And we reported on it on this show probably last year sometime, and I just remember Dan Reed saying, I don't know about this.
Yeah, I know. I remember that from Grinkers. I went up to him. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's cool, man. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I mean, it doesn't make sense. No. You know, it really doesn't. You know, that was the number one criticism I got is Nintendo would have never made a Legend of Zelda cabinet. And I'm like, yeah, I know. They didn't.
But, you know, they made a Super Mario cabinet.
But that's the beautiful thing about it, is that it is a unique kind of, you know, like, hey, I know I saw John and John's Arcade probably said something like that, where nobody's going to stand in front of that cabinet for 3 hours. But
you know, again, that was the second number one criticism, and I was just like, I mean, you know, if you have an imagination to, you know, make something like this, then I would think you'd have the imagination to realize that you could just sit in front of it in a bar stool. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah. Bar stools always work.
Yeah. So, but yeah, yeah, that all came about because I built a Donkey Kong Pauline edition, then I built a Fix-It Felix, and I was just like, well, what could I do that was cooler, I mean, than that, you know, like what could you do? And then I was like, well, wait, why can't you make a cabinet for a game that never existed but should have, like The Legend of Zelda or Mega Man or DuckTales or Castlevania or all these cool games, you know?
So I just threw the Zelda picture up there, and I also just threw the Mega Man one up, which is really cool. I love that you picked the Nintendo theme, even though Mega Man probably would have had been licensed by Nintendo, right? So they would have licensed it from Capcom to, you know, and that happened all the time in the 80s. You know, everybody was licensing stuff. But these cabinets are unbelievably cool, and the quality of work that goes into the paint. That's what I'm looking for in my journey. It's gonna, you know, I'm kind of taking it up a notch. And I think I might have been inspired by talking to you at Grinkfest last year. I'm like, you know what? If you're gonna do a rebuild of something, let's do it right. You know, because nothing on that cabinet's gonna be original except the cabinet. So I might as well go all out and make it fun. So if you look at these things, there's the attention to detail, and this detail you see in the Oregon Trail too with the wagon wheel. But the CNC'd Mega Man front panel,
that's not CNC'd, actually. That's my hands.
Oh my God, that's just amazing. So you got this. Yeah. Would you do that with a jigsaw or what?
I created a stencil, and then I put it on there on the wood, and then I just drilled all those holes individually, and then I routed them, and I had to do a lot of sanding and repairing and stuff just to kind of get it to look legit. But yeah, none of that CNC. Everything's by hand.
Wow. So that's just amazing. So, and then what's on the inside?
Slightly obsessive.
Yeah, right. What? What's on the inside of these things? So you have an actual legit Nintendo, or what's going on?
So Legend of Zelda went through a whole evolution process. So I actually built two cabinets before I got, and before I got to that one that you're probably showing a picture of, and it's changed since then as well. But the first Legend of Zelda that I built, I used actually a chrome vinyl wrap on, and I just wasn't happy with it. So I ended up stripping it all off, and I know how to paint automotive light, so that's why I switched to that. But I was going to originally put a PC-10 in this and make it a Play Choice 10. So I actually bought all the stuff, the Sanyo, I bought the board, I bought the adapter, I bought the power pack, the harness, all that stuff. And I was like, wait a minute, I just spent $1,000 because I don't want to destroy a cabinet. That's not what I'm about. I'm about building my own from scratch, and no harm, no foul. I use all reproduction parts. Take Man, I get his coin doors are amazing. I've gotten a lot from him, and I also get a lot of stuff from Mike's Arcade. So it's all new parts and stuff. But anyway, I long story long, I ended up I just put an NES in there. So I was like, I'm wasting money, just doing that. It's a multi-NES machine. So, people are like, well, you would never make a Legend of Zelda. Well, it's not a dedicated Legend of Zelda. You can play any game on that thing.
Sure. And that's actually really cool. I think, I love the criticism, especially as like, okay, so why does everyone have to be a critic? Like, why can't you just see this is a freaking machine you're going to put directly into
dicks.
You're going to put it directly into your house, right? It's going right into your home. And what are you going to do? You're going to sit on a stool, you're going to have a beer, and you're going to play Zelda. That sounds like a lot of fun to me, actually, or Mega Man. There's tons of people that love Mega Man,
Yeah, and Mega Man is actually a lot of fun to play in an arcade format. I mean, it's, side-scrolling platformer, so, that one's really fun. Same with DuckTales, you know what I mean? So, Zelda, it's just a Zelda-themed it's a Zelda-themed PC-10, essentially. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
So, yeah,
Super Mario Brothers, not meant to be played in an arcade.
Right.
But yet, there it is in a red tent and in a Play Choice 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slightly different, right? They made it a little harder. And But it's a timed game, and you could do the same thing with Zelda, although you'd be kind of annoyed because you'd have to keep putting in money.
Yeah.
But
like I said, I that's why I think I went the whole 9 yards with these things and put all those details in there is because I mostly just wanted it to be an art piece. It's fun for me and a challenge too, just to kind of do different techniques and try new things to try to make this really cool, like stunning piece, So
let's talk a little bit since we're in your office, and thanks for staying on late at the office.
No problem, man.
There's some awesome art behind you right now. I can see.
G.I. Joe.
Can you tilt your monitor up a little bit so we can see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's legit. And it looks like you might be the safety officer for your building.
Oh no, that's my uniform for work.
Okay. So that's freaking awesome. I love
I painted those.
So tell me where are you working now, and what are you doing for the company? How did you get into it?
So I have a background in graphic design and art, and I also have a background in auto body and automotive repair. So I just have a really diverse skill set. So I've spent a lot of time in auto body, and it's fun. I like it, but I also am an artist. So I'm lucky enough that I'm able to do a job that really doesn't exist anymore, which is a old school like theme park artist. So I make a lot of props and scenic art and signs and all kinds of stuff, hand painted, airbrushed, painted. I restore carousel horses, stuff like that. So I get to utilize a lot of the things that I like to do every day at my job. So I'm actually the creative arts manager at a theme park called Elitch Gardens in Denver, Colorado. So we have a small shop, and we get to do all kinds of cool custom stuff, every day. So that's you can see a little bit of actually the Oregon Trail cabinet came from a sign I was just finishing that looks very similar to it with the copper and rivets and all that stuff. And when that project came along, I was like, I'm going to make it look like this, so it was a Western themed sign,
Absolutely. Yeah,
it's really fun. I can't wait. There's like the July 4th, somebody was saying, everybody was complaining about how they had to go to work, and I work, and I was like, I get to go to work. I'm so excited. People are like, I got to go to work. I was like, I get to go. So yeah, I love what I do. So
that's awesome. So what do you have a dream project, or you just kind of get inspired as it goes along?
I have so many ideas. That's the problem.
I know you and I discussed when we were at Grinkfest. I really want to do a versus Ice Climber, but I don't want to do the traditional cabinet because it's crap. You look at that marquee is probably the worst marquee Nintendo ever put out. It was like a photograph of some like climbing equipment.
Yeah, it could be so much better.
Yeah,
but you know what? They're just mass produced in a factory. You know?
They are. Did I? Yeah. So did I share that graphic with you that I made? I don't know if I did.
I don't think you did. Yeah.
But
no, I can see a white pearl with metallic paint job on that, like ice.
Yeah,
you know what I
and
mean?
then what
Like
would you do for the speaker grill on that? You know.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that. You know.
Yeah.
I really like doing those 8-bit faces, and I know that you could do an igloo. You know what I mean? You have you know, the guy with the hood. You know what I mean? You
totally
could do something like that. You know, or a hammer. You know, because they have that. You know, so I don't. Or you know, an ice cube. That'd be kind of boring, but
ice cube would be
all kinds of cool stuff. And that was the thing. So that's what happened. So I got done with this these Nintendo builds, the Fix-It Felix and the Pauline, and I was like, well, how can I sneak those little details in there? And I was looking at the speaker grill, and they're all round. I'm all, well, let's make it more unique. And then that's how it started with the triangle, you know, speaker grill. And then from there, I just tried to push myself by doing like the face, and then DuckTales has the $sign, you know, and stuff like that. So just try to change it a little bit, you know. Just to give it a little bit more extra detail.
Yeah. And you're not in the chat right now, so I can't show you this picture, right? Let me see if I can share this with you so you can see it, and then I'll share it with the gang so they can see it as well. So in the on our chat session, I'm gonna just post a link and see if you can get at this. I think you can.
I don't see a chat at all.
On there's a little chat link on the side there. Yeah.
I'm afraid if I do anything, I'm gonna close you out.
You won't. On the left hand side, you'll see a little bubble that has like a chat. I just posted a link.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You see that?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's cool, man.
So I'm gonna put this up so people can see. But this, I think, would be a fun marquee for versus Ice Climber, and that's just a prototype one that I made in a couple of minutes. But something along those lines, you know.
Yeah, no, that's exactly like that's legit.
But I would love to like collaborate with you, or at least get some ideas, and then or some dimensions so I could cut my own cabinet. But I have all the internals for this thing, and I want to make one that is not like one that's on the planet, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
yeah, no, that'd be really cool, man. Especially if you're starting to delve into that auto body refinishing, you know, which is a complex process.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a really complex process. I mean, I had to, something I had to learn and stuff like that. You know,
I'm gonna have somebody do it for me. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
I'm sure it won't be cheap.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's probably cheaper than painting a car.
But I what's cool is I'm seeing a lot of guys on club kind of starting to develop an interest and or starting to do it a little bit, with some of the restorations and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's really cool, man. Because I mean, the finish you get on it, it's more durable, way more durable, and it's obviously a lot nicer.
You can frickin' wax those machines when you're done.
You can literally. I'm gonna take these cabinets to the show. I'm gonna get some quick detailer, some McGuire's quick detailer, and detail, and they're durable.
And you can buff them out if something gets scratched. You can buff it out.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Interestingly enough, a few years ago, and I won't go through the trouble of sharing this one today, but probably about 10 years ago, I built my first little arcade thingy. I didn't have my own arcade game, and I decided I was going to build a small arcade styled stand. So it's about 4 feet tall. It was shaped like an arcade on the side. I hand cut it. And then I rounded it. I with a router. I did not like make T-molding or anything like that. But it was arcade shaped on the side, and then there's 2 bars across the top, and I put a 13-inch Sony television sort of pointing up to me, and then put cup holders on the side. But I brought it to Mako, and they painted it with black enamel, and and then I put Mario Brothers side art on it. I put a shelf for a Nintendo. So I had the Nintendo below. I had the 13-inch TV pointed up and the cup holders. And I gave it to my nephew. He's 20. He's 20. He still has it.
That's so awesome. That's actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because I remember, I said I didn't play video games very much, but I remember playing that. My brother and I had the Nintendo.
Yeah.
And I remember asking my dad when I was like 10, I said, I want to build my own arcade cabinet for their TV and a Nintendo, like just like you said. And, I didn't know how much money that would cost. And I was like, can you help me? And he's like, yeah, I can help you. Knowing that eventually I would get bored of this idea that I had. So it was kind of cool that 25 years later, I got to actually do what I wanted to do when I was a kid. It never happened. I think I got a piece of pegboard and I'm like, wow, this is expensive. I'm never going to get the money together to build this. So that's really cool, man.
So we have a question from the audience. Is the DuckTales cabinet done?
It is almost done. It's been sitting. I've been so busy with work and with the Oregon Trail that I stopped working on it in January. All I have left is the bezel, which I've already designed. I just need to print it out, and what I do is with the other artwork is I'm embossing all the coins, so they're all chrome, and it has Scrooge McDuck's face on there and stuff. This is a technique that I developed in college to kind of emboss the artwork, so it has a really cool chrome finish to it. But that's pretty much all that's left, and then I just got to throw the electronics inside of it. So I think I'll be able to get it done by the show in Phoenix next month.
So if I ask how much these things cost, will you tell us like a ballpark?
It's really weird because I know. No, I mean it's really weird because I know what I would want to ask just because the amount of work that goes into them and the amount of you just said you're going to take your cabinet to get an automotive paint job on it. How much it's going to cost. You know what I mean? So I don't really know. I've sold a couple. I've sold actually pretty much all the ones that I have, to be honest with you. But I mean, 3,500 is kind of on the low end, but
we're talking pinball prices seem very appropriate.
Well, I'll tell you, and that's the thing. That's the weird thing that I don't understand, and I know it's a whole pop culture popularity thing, but art. I mean, it's one of those things where either you want to pay for it or you don't. Right. And I get a lot of flack. People are like, yeah, that's pinball prices, but people don't mind paying $10,000 for a pinball.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, hey, people buy those pinballs when people say, oh, $5,000 for a paperboy. I'm like, what the heck? A pinball costs more than that. So that seems like it's reasonable. I think.
Yeah, and that's what I was going for. They're so new too. I don't know what they could sell for potentially. I have no idea, and I've never put one on eBay or anything like that. So I don't know. I mean, I'm hand numbering them and all that stuff too. So I don't know. I just, that's kind of where I'm like, because it costs me quite a bit of money to make, not just in money, but time as well, but I don't like doing stuff half-assed. I mean, I could easily go to Home Depot and get some Ralph Lauren gold paint, and just roll it on there. But I want it to look like an NES cartridge. That was the whole appeal of the Legend of Zelda game. It was the special one that came in that gold cartridge. So in order to get that finish, you have to put that time and that money into the product in order to make it look, have that kind of special factor to it. So
right. Hey, so let's shift a little bit, and again, we're going to talk, I guess, sort of motivational, but as far as your heroes of the arcade community, people that sort of inspire you, can you name any?
I'm in this weird gray area where I love Clav and I love the whole preservationist aspect of it, and I love obviously all these guys that I've met and we've become really good friends, but I'm also in that whole BYAOC, build your own arcade cabinets class as well, so I'm kind of in that whole little gray area between the two of them. But I'm inspired by, I don't know if I mean John's Arcade, obviously. I know that one gets called out a lot just because, but I mean, he was one of the pioneers of the whole arcade thing and kind of making it popular and stuff like that, but just like my local friends and all these guys that obviously Steve at Grinkers, and what he's doing and that community he's created. I mean, a lot of that, that's what this is about. It's not just about the games, it's about the community and stuff like that. So but a lot of the BYOAC guys, I love the creativity. That's what I love about this hobby. I love the restoration part of it too, as far as restoring the old games. And I hope that someday that custom, because I guess in pinball, custom is accepted, right? I mean,
Yes.
as far as I know, yeah. I hope it makes its way over to the arcade thing so that it's not always doing the same restoration over and just who's doing it and how they're doing it. You know what I mean? But actually throwing a little bit of flair and variation in there and making it your own, you know? I think that makes it really cool, you know, just like with cars and with the pinball machines and stuff, you know? For some reason, I don't know why it hasn't crossed over into the arcade games. Maybe you guys know.
Well, I mean, at Southern Fried Gaming Convention, there were definitely pinballs that had been sort of themed, and people were playing them and enjoying them and stuff like that. So they had taken the platform and then made it something new. And so, you know, I just think, you know, if you do that, you know, you're Bucky O'Hare, you know.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's, you know, because I mean, obviously there was never really a game that was like the one that RcadeRadio, you know, was able to whip together. But you know, but that Zelda is so, like, it's legendary. Like I think back when I saw it at CAX, and it was at CAX, right? I mean,
No, I've never shown them ever.
Really?
This is the
Weird.
first time I'm going to show these games. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of like a Castle Wolfenstein, I think.
Oh, okay.
But whoever did that, I mean, the inspiration, I think, from Zelda, you know, is going to sort of spawn more of these things.
I hope so. I love seeing them, you know, and when every once in a while I'll see one on Clav where the guy's doing custom stuff and they're making their Galaxian different or like, you know, whatever. And, you know, I see that you get a lot of flack, but at the same time, there's also a select group of guys that are like, dude, that's awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah, have fun with it.
You know, and you're
Why
gonna
do they all have to be the same?
You're gonna have that same kind of flack no matter what. I mean, and it sounds like you weather it pretty well. I remember
Yeah, I'm used to it.
there was there's a friend of mine who's out in California. He used to go by Fizzgig.
Yeah. I know him. I've heard of him.
And he does a lot of his own artwork. He has restored a ton of games. People don't like the word restore though because he measures the cabinets and strips them down. Strips them of their components and then rebuilds the cabinet from the ground up with artwork and everything, which is just insane. But they are beautiful when they're done, and oftentimes they're better than they were when he, first got the machine. So, I can't fault him for doing that, though. I mean, like,
well, at the end of the day, it's your machine too. You know what I mean? It's like you can do whatever you want. You know, like I have had people, how could you do that to a Nintendo cabinet? I'm like, but they started out as 3 sheets of plywood at Home Depot. I didn't do anything to a Nintendo cabinet.
Exactly.
So you got that. I get it. You know what I mean? But it's not going to stop me. I have so many ideas, and
it shouldn't. My whole point is, it should not stop you. You are creating. You're not taking something and defacing it.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's one of the fun things about having people, being able to tell their story on this show too, is like, okay, this is legit. You're not destroying arcade history. You're actually creating it.
Well, what I love about High Score Arcades, they approached me once Zelda got passed around the internet and all those articles came out, and they said, hey, we had an idea. We wanted to do a Zelda cabinet. And they contacted me, and I oversaw them building their own Zelda cabinets out in California. And they actually made theirs 2 players, and they made them a little bit more utilitarian, so not as blingy as mine, because they know that they're going to get played every day by people. But they saw that as an opportunity to grow their business, because now people aren't going to arcade game to play Pac-Man and Galaga. They're going to go see something new, something new and exciting. And, and that was exactly the outcome of what happened. People were now going to their arcade, paying to get in, to go see this cabinet that didn't exist. And actually, it's kind of funny. They've told me that people will walk in there and be like, oh yeah, man, I love the Legends. I used to play that in arcades back in the day. And they're just like looking at them like, I mean, no, you didn't. You know what I mean? So they have that imagination. And I think that's really, really cool. And I think that's why we've been such good partners. They're also the ones that commissioned the Oregon Trail, so it's just really, really cool. So
cool. Mark, you got
any other commissions that may be coming? Or?
As of right now, no. I have some pretty amazing ideas of cabinets that I want to do, but I don't have any commissions right now. I'm preparing for the Game On Expo down in down in Phoenix, Arizona at the convention center. It's gonna be the first time that I've ever shown these cabinets, and they're really excited to have them. I'm really excited to finally get to talk to people about them because I've kind of been hiding them, other than what I've shown on Club and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what I've got going on. I need to finish DuckTales and get it down there.
Okay, so are you gonna keep any of these?
So that's the thing. As an artist, you love making the creation process. That's the thing. I'm not getting rich on these things. I'm not, I promise you. And I haven't sold that many, but I love the creative process. And I do love walking by The Legend of Zelda and being like, dude, that is so awesome. Like, I love that game. And I would like to keep them, but I also need to be able to have the room to make more. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I mean, it would be so cool if someone approached me and was like, hey, I got an idea for an ice climber project. You know what I mean? Let's get it made. And that way I don't even have to worry about, but I love that whole creative process, the brainstorming and the challenge of then doing something completely different. I don't know if I told you about my new Zelda idea.
Tell us.
Oh, well, I guess I can let the cat out of the bag, but I'm going to I want to create a new Zelda cabinet with stained glass side art. That's backlit, actual stained glass side art, so, wow. I mean, that is a challenge, that I want to push myself to just kind of keep creating cool stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, imagine that lit up in a room, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, that'd be pretty church. I don't want to say church-like, you know what I mean? But, or Castlevania could be done the same way.
Oh, Castlevania, yeah.
You know what I mean? And the next project that I'm actually working on is going to be Pearl White, actually, like your. But I don't know if you guys have heard of the Street Fighter versus Mega Man X.
Oh yeah.
That came out, where you play as an 8-bit Mega Man fighting 8-bit Street Fighter characters. So I want to blend the two together and make an actual Street Fighter Ryu-themed Street Fighter Mega Man cabinet. So that's going to be the next project that I'm going to start on before I start that, because that stained glass project is going to be insane, like as far as time goes and stuff. So
Andy Baldwin in the chat says he used to do stained glass. He said that would be badass.
Yeah, and I've never done it before, so it's going to be one of those things where, I get to learn a new skill while I'm doing it, So that's cool, man. Yeah. I just, it's limitless, and that's what I love about it. The arcade stuff is so black and white, you know what I mean? And this is just like, what can your imagination create, And people, I think they respond. They do. I know, because I've seen it at high scores. They respond really, really well to it, because they're like, wow, where is that? Where did you get that? How? You know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
But what was really cool is that Oregon Trail cabinet. You mentioned how everyone knows about that. There was a 5-year-old kid playing in the arcade, just playing one of the games. They wheeled it out for the photo shoot for the San Francisco Chronicle. That kid flipped out. He was actually in the article. He was probably like 8 years old, not 5, but I was like, how do you know about this game? And he said his dad has it on his computer, and he was digging it, man. And then his grandma was an old school teacher, and she was sitting behind him going, yeah, this is so cool, man. Like, I used to have this in my classroom, So it kind of stirs up that nostalgia in people that really wouldn't have had it stirred up by doing something that is beyond what's already there, So.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love it.
Well, I want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. That's awesome.
Stick around for a couple minutes afterwards, and we just want to say, we love having all these different varied guests. We, having Eugene Jarvis on, of course, is fun, and some of the record holders and everything. But we also like having operators, and we had, like I said, we had Tim Lapatino on, and yourself. And I mean, there's more to the hobby than just collecting a game, and that's what this show is about. So we really appreciate being on the show. Again, this has been Sam Bahman. Thanks for being our guest on today's show. We hope to have you on again.
Thank you.
That would be great, especially after you do a show and finish a few more projects. We can find out what you're working on.
Nice.
This is Arcade Radio. You can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, iTunes, even Google Play. So keep listening in, and thanks for being in the chat tonight. Thanks to our What's in the Juke players, and we'll see you on the next show. This is Arcade Radio, out.
This is where we dance.
This is where we dance.
This is where we dab.
Yeah, nice. Thanks, guys. This was really fun, man. Sorry if I talk too much.
Nah, you're fine.
I just get really, really excited about this stuff, man, because it's just so much fun, man.
Talking is really good for podcasts.
It is.
What?